Ladies and gentlemen, it's the AZ² podcast. We got heavy, got lazy. Let's go. What is up?
What's going on? Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're back live in the studio.
Back live in the flesh, in the studio together.
It's good to be home, not on some damn Zoom call with some shitty hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I got digital weird.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It's crazy that like people have been just like living their entire life on Zoom for the last like 2 years. People with like cubicle jobs and stuff.
Nuts.
COVID, like.
I think it's even crazier of a concept that you were in a place where like it's concentrated. Like there's a deeper sense of community. You know when everyone's home because the Wi-Fi is noticeably slower. Like you pretty much build it, to more than you're ever going to use in your house by yourself and just your family. But then you're in this hotel where there's floors of people.
All sucking up the bandwidth.
Yep, all sucking up the bandwidth and using all the whatever else you can use down there. Eating up all the continental breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish this hotel didn't have that.
They didn't have that? What? No fucking English muffin at least?
Nothing like that. And even if they did, it would have been closed because of COVID. One of the last days I was there, actually, they reopened like the buffet. And I went to the restaurant to get some food, and I saw like people had like buckets of crab legs on their tables and stuff. They had like a huge crab leg buffet.
That's sick.
And I wish I would have gotten there sooner because at that point I was just tired. My Caesar salad and go to my room.
Really would like to enjoy that.
Yeah, but it's great to be back. My favorite thing about stepping out of the airport in Washington every time is the cold, crispy air. Oh my God, it's so nice. It's so like.
You say that like it's a good thing.
Oh, dude, it's the best. It's the best when you're like in the desert for a month and then.
Yeah, after you've been in the desert, it probably seems like an oasis.
Well, not to mention in Vegas for a week, just like ripping cigs and smoking weed. I mean, it's all legal down there now too. So and especially like in a casino where you can smoke inside. Like, there's no reason not to smoke a cigarette. I'm sitting at a slot machine or something. There's no reason.
The last time I was in Vegas, it was legal. You could go like walk into a weed store and buy it, but there was like no one had said anything about the weed thing inside yet. Like no one. It was still like, this is kind of sketch. No one ever really talked about it yet. So it's good to know now that for the most part, I mean, I did it anyway. I smoked blunts inside. I wasn't going anywhere, and I just walked away and smoked a cigarette right after. If I ever saw security, I would just put it out and light a cigarette. But it's good to hear that they've kind of like. At least from your experience,
they're back to being
pretty much normal.
Yeah. Well, the mask, the day I got there too was the day that the mask mandate went away, and either in Las Vegas or in Nevada as a state, I'm not sure, but so it was like no mask the entire trip. No one in the restaurants, no one in the casinos. You would see people that still were just like wearing a mask. And like. All right, man, go for it. But hey, if they're like, if it's not required to get in this restaurant anymore, like, let's do it. Speaking of restaurants, I went to. You guys ever heard of that restaurant in Las Vegas where they talk like mad shit to you? It's called Dick's Last Resort.
Oh yeah, I actually heard about this place.
Table and they give you like a paper hat and they write like, this guy's cock is tiny and like,
a demasculating place.
People's pictures from there.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
Did you go there?
I went there, yeah. So me and my buddy went there. We did, yeah. He drew like a woman on the hat, like her face, and like poked a hole in the mouth. And then he wrote, "This is his plan B tonight." So he got me. He roasted me.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a good time in there. They gave me a free like a souvenir cup, which I'm huge. Whenever I go somewhere, I get a mug. And I get like a koozie or something like that. So I have like all these beer koozies and coffee mugs from places I go. And I mean, the cabinet's getting full now. Like I'm starting to have to figure out like which state sucks enough to get rid of this mug.
Right.
But that's my thing. I like the weird mugs and stuff. And we've talked about how some states have like badass flags.
Oh yeah.
So the Colorado state was one that, in my opinion, was pretty cool. It's pretty clean, but it's still like looks like a traditional flag, but then it's got like this big old yellow circle and the red letter. anyway, so the Colorado mug I got was one of those from the gift shop, and I think that we talked about it on the show, and you guys guessed how much it cost, and it was only actually like $4. But that's why I like collecting the mugs, because like they're generally pretty cheap, and everywhere you go, there's some sort of like novelty mug, or like with like I went to Joshua Tree National Park, which if anyone that's listening, if you've been there, like you already know, like it's so sick there. It's probably the coolest place I've ever been, like on this earth. If you haven't been, you gotta go.
The Tiger Belly podcast talks about it all the time. They go to Joshua Tree for vacation camping all the fucking time.
Yeah, well, there's so much to do there, and like everything is like larger than life. There's a place called like Split Rock, and it's because like all the rocks and the boulders and stuff there are like house sized, like they're just massive. So like I don't know, dude, you feel like an ant because you can walk through all these little gaps in the boulders and like climb around into like these. They're not caves, but it's all these rocks. They're just massive rocks, like, picture a pile of gravel, except the gravel is the size of a house. So you can climb around through the crevices and the gaps between all the rocks.
Yeah, that's nuts. So yeah, like you're the size of an ant, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So you're crawling through, dude. You're finding tunnels. Eventually, like sometimes you'll be crawling through, and it's never like pitch black or anything. There's always light coming through from around. But, dude, we were crawling through this gap in the rocks, and we found this drop. It was about, like, 10 feet down, and you could see, with a flashlight, you could see, like, okay, it's just dirt down there. And so, like, we had to decide, like, we're either going for this, because you can't climb back up. It's like, it's like some sort of Indiana Jones movie where there's a slide inside of a cave, and, like, the boulder's coming, so you gotta just go down. And
you got one choice.
But, yeah, so we decided, like, dude, fuck it. Because, so the thing is, like, we looked down there, and it was, like, kind of dirt, and I saw footprints. And so it's like, okay, someone has gotten in there, and they're not still down there, so there must be a way out.
How do you know they're not still down there?
Well, technically I did, but I end up dropping.
Technically I did, man.
I end up dropping down and, like, kind of looking around, and I look down, and there's, a spot where, like, okay, we could crawl under this thing, and I can see outside over there. It's maybe, like, from here to the end of the shop, maybe, like, 50 feet or so.
Yeah.
And I dropped down there, and I'm, like, kind of crouched down, because it's a small space. It's probably about, like, crawling under this table, like, after you drop down to continue going. And I feel, like, something, like, run past my leg. And then I turn around and it like kind of startles me and stuff. And I thought like one of them dropped their backpack down or something already. Because that was the first thing I did was drop my backpack down and then slide down for it. And
I will save you.
And I didn't see it. So I turned on my phone flashlight and I realized that we are in like some sort of like mice like colony cave hideout thing, dude. Holy shit, like hundreds of mice and like you just see the eyes and I see like animal carcasses everywhere, like little mice skeletons and stuff, and I realized like, dude, we just dropped down into like a mouse graveyard. But the thing is, I was the only one down there at that point, so they're like, hey, is it good? Are we good? Should we come down? And I'm just like,
hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Come on, let's go.
Come on,
it is perfect down here.
Yeah.
Come on,
Come on in. The water's great.
I decided to keep my secret and not freak the fuck out of these guys, because one of them, I knew that one of the guys we were with, he would have lost his shit. If he
Really fucking
like
because the thing is like we
happening.
have no option to get to the light right there. You have to get down on your hands and knees and crawl through this shit. And so I was like, dude, flashlight off. Just all right, let's go. And I just like
no, it's perfect. It's this way.
It's perfectly lit too. Turn your flashlights off. Don't look below.
Yeah. Do not look below. But dude, Joshua Tree.
Animals are coming.
Joshua Tree is full of just places like that where it's like if you're the kind of person that likes to just climb around on rocks and explore shit, like endless exploration.
Have a great time there.
It's
we gotta
so
do
sick.
That's gonna be a trip.
And the coolest part is like, so it's a giant park, but you basically drive this road through the whole park, and there's tons of spots. Like anywhere you want, you can just park and get out and start wandering around.
It's Hippieville.
Yeah,
it's like straight up Hippieville. Like that's where the hippies go to run and like roam.
Yeah.
Like
well,
the buffalo.
It's so huge. Like when we were driving through at first, and it was before we had like even like driven in far enough to see the really like mind-blowing stuff. And there's kind of this like rocky like hilltop on the left side, and one of the guys was like, dude, I bet we could climb up that. Or he's like, I bet I could make it to the top of that. And we're just like, well, let's fucking try. We can try.
We got all day.
And so we parked the truck right on the side of the road.
Nowhere, I mean.
Yeah, locked up and just headed for this hill, and basically just like aimed for the top, and we got up there, and like it was probably like maybe like 15 minutes to like kind of scramble up to the top of this thing. But you got up there, you had a pretty good view of like the highway going through and some of the scenery. And then like we thought that was dope, and that was like a half hour into our journey. And we spent like probably 10 hours that day inside of Joshua
you guys
Tree.
about
So
to pass it up, like even though something that small, like to know like this was nothing compared to
yeah,
like,
exactly. So when you end up getting into the middle of that place, and there's plants that you see that like only grow in Joshua Tree. There's the actual Joshua Tree is one of those. It's native, yeah. So it doesn't grow anywhere else in the world. I'm sure that people have like grown it artificially other places, but in terms of like a natural,
where it naturally
it can't grow anywhere else. It's so fucking cool though. There's these plants, man. I wish I knew what they were called so you could look them up, but they're
I'm looking up stuff now.
Dude, look up. Talking. So there's a plant that grows there, and what it looks like is it looks like a photo of a grenade that's like blowing up. Like imagine like an explosion and it blows up and its roots, and then it's like a photograph, like a frozen. Dude, I don't know the name of the plant, but it looks like something out of Halo, like Halo 7 or something like that. Like it's so fucking cool. I see you're pulling up Joshua trees right now, right?
Yes, they can't see it yet, but it will be there.
Okay, yeah. So these are the Joshua trees. They're I want to say, if I remember right, they can get up to like 40 feet high. They're kind of like a cactus tree hybrid, but they're all over the place. There's big fields of them. They're a pretty beautiful plant. If you're watching online, which you should be, the YouTube is
AZ² equals podcast.
AZ2 equals podcast, like for the search bar.
No,
or do they spell it out?
You right click, hit emoji, go to the math symbols, and hit square. And people, the kids nowadays know these things.
Okay, all right, kids, we're waiting for you over at the website.
I stumbled upon it, and that's why we used it.
Yeah.
We may change the name.
Change the name, huh?
We may.
Just rebrand.
I have no idea how to get to the podcast. So.
Yeah, most people don't, and that's why we might rebrand.
Okay.
And rename. I was thinking sphincter muscles.
Oh, that's charming.
Right.
Sphincter Muscles, the podcast. Not a butt podcast.
No, I really had a good one. It was like sit and talk, and then I've been looking up all these names. So many people have already taken just like random shit for names. This fucking podcast. I was so.
Why is that taking?
Well, I mean, personally, I don't think I don't have a problem with AZ² equals podcast. Like to me, that actually like it's got a ring to it. It kind of rolls off the tongue. We might maybe instead of like a full rebrand, it's just just somehow make it easily searchable.
Yeah.
You know.
Also,
I'm pretty
everywhere
sure
you write it, you have to also write AZ2 equals podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you go into YouTube and
let's try it right now.
It up,
live
AZ2
performance review here.
Podcast, and it will come up.
AZ2
on-site dev here
equals podcast. Okay, the first thing that comes up is Two Squirrels in a Sock podcast.
That's some shit.
You know what? I'm not mad at that.
I'm really not mad at it either.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Okay.
So there's Joshua Tree.
Touche squirrels. Squirrels.
Like I'm looking at the like I mean I like this imagery and like these visuals. Like I think that looks really good. Like these like the last two episodes.
Yeah,
on the YouTube.
I've been doing better. How did that come up? How did you find that?
I typed AZ2 equals like the word equals podcast, but the thing is I'm already subscribed to it, so it popped up like naturally that way. I don't know about a real natural Google search.
Let's do this. Everybody's gonna watch us do this. So you go in here, you go to guest, right? And that just brought me over to another guest. Son of a bitch.
Your history is not affecting your search results.
There you go. Yeah, those cookies, man.
Until your guest has cookies, that also happens. Because the guest profile on the YouTube at my home, my kids use in certain rooms, and that is definitely
used the guest profile to go to YouTube.
Very child.
Skews your analytics there.
Exactly, skews the algorithm on that guest account on the TV.
All right, so we're hitting YouTube. All right, YouTube. Yeah, let's go there.
If you have utility.
Not okay. Takes me to something for Washington State, so then we're going AZ2 equals. Did you spell it out or?
I spelled out the word equals, yeah.
He did the work for it. Man did the work.
And it's the first thing that comes up for me.
Nice.
Hey, so it's
Okay.
already problem solved.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Rebrand complete.
Rebrand complete. Live for you people. Well, not live. This is a pre-recorded show, but only a
But we
couple
are
of days
alive.
advance. Yeah, we are live.
I am definitely alive.
Living. In
That's
the world.
dope. This seems like some dope scenery to be around.
It
It's
is.
like
Doesn't
some
show
calming
on
and
the
peaceful
thing, though.
serenity like type.
Extremely.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I work with, he was there with us. There was 3 of us there. He had a GoPro, and he GoPro'd like the whole trip, like
That's
exploring around, and then he cut it up and put Lord of the Rings music in it. Dude, it's so cool. Oh man,
Because
it's
the
a great
background,
video.
you're like, maybe this could be in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, dude, there was a spot, another one of those kind of like rock crevices, and I was bending down to like check down it to see like if it's like a passageway, and my sunglasses that were like on top of my hat on my head dropped down inside, and that place is so fucking. I mean, the whole state of California, like everyone wears sunglasses, and it's not because they're smoking weed, and I mean most of them are, but like. It's because it's so bright there. I mean, everywhere in the Southwest and like the lower West Coast, and I'm sure it's the same like in Florida and shit too. But like you've got the
Well, look at the ground. It's like pearls. down there.
yeah. Well,
So
it's so
refracts
bright
light.
there that like on a clear sunny day, if you don't have sunglasses, like you're getting the sun, you're getting the light from the sun in your eyes, you're getting the white from the sandy desert.
Yeah.
You're getting everything.
You're overexposed completely.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
and I will get like a migraine so fast. Like I have light colored eyes, and so they absorb more light.
I would be so fucked. You saw what happened to me after
Yeah.
6 days in
In Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, they fuck
Oh,
up
dude,
your eyes.
Dude, no, not even my eyes, because I got super dark colored eyes, but they still get like hurt. Like they
Yeah.
fucking hurt. Like
It will
you're,
gives
like,
you a headache.
You're like this and like
Yeah.
trying to like. Keep
And then your
eyes open.
fucking face gets sore from squinting.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it's like,
Yeah,
God, my
yeah.
headache is in my forehead now.
Yeah,
And
now you're tired as fuck. Just
yeah.
from
And
being
that's
awake. Yeah.
no fun at all.
Yeah,
But
it is
anyway,
bad.
so I dropped my sunglasses down this crevice on accident, and like, yo, I need those sunglasses. And we didn't have anything to like fish it out with, any sort of like rope or like line or any. We couldn't find anything. So what we ended up doing was like, all right, we'll hold on to your legs and drop you down like a crane so you can grab these glasses,
Fuck
and then we'll
that.
pull you back up. But the thing is, like, imagine like a rolled up sleeping bag, okay, like about that like diameter around. It's like a crack that's about that size. It's like a tube, and so if I go down there, like it was too deep to where like if I went down legs first, I couldn't get up because you couldn't pull your arms
you
up to
can't,
climb.
yeah.
If I went down head first and like grabbed the glasses, obviously I'm fucked.
Yeah, you're
If
definitely
they drop me, or if like I
Yeah.
there's no way to get out, and so
Yeah,
I was like,
you'd have to first land the strongest handstand
Yeah.
in your life, for one,
dude,
and not break your fucking wrist.
yeah,
Which is
well,
exactly what I would my snack and the neck.
Yeah.
your
Oh.
wrist, the neck,
I-
and over.
I'd
Yeah.
break my nail, then my knuckle, then my wrist,
all the way up
all
the line.
the way up my shoulder would dislocate, and then I'd break my neck.
Yeah,
So yesterday, right? Go skate. Get there. Everyone's like, it's too cold. It's way too cold because it's like maybe 3 o'clock by the time I get there, and the sun has made it just past the tree line that's still there.
yeah.
Have you seen the new park
Where?
at Arlington?
They have a new park there?
They got a new parking lot. Like
Oh, I've seen the
curved-
parking lot.
Yeah, and they took out all the trees on the
Yeah,
parking lot
yeah,
side.
I've seen that.
But they have all the trees on the one side, so the sun's like blocking all of that, and so you just got shade over the actual skate park.
Really?
So there's no fucking sun. So everybody's like, yeah, I'm going. I'm like, I just got here.
Classic.
Dean's like, I'll try a couple tricks for you. I was like, all right. And literally within 3 attempts of a trick, my nail broke somehow just from filming and skating around. It was so
Do
cold.
you eat shit?
No, I didn't fall. I didn't do anything. That was like half of my nail was gone. I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
what the fuck happened? It's so cold. My nails are brittle like ice.
Just shattered off.
I was like, yeah, we're done, dude. it's over.
It has been really cold here. That is one thing that I haven't missed. Being in Vegas down there, it was like 65. It was pretty sunny most days. Like, that shit was nice. And then coming back here, I didn't realize it was so cold here right now.
Yeah, it's freezing for no good fucking reason. It's insane. I don't like it. It's disrespectful.
So what's shitty is that it happened after 2 sunny, warm days in a row. It was 2 sunny, warm days in a row, and then it snowed.
Yeah, then snow.
Snow.
Out of nowhere, it was like, hey, here's some nice weather, and then fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's been dropping in degree ever since.
Every night.
Yesterday, oh my god, this pissed me off so much. So I spent like $400 on a replacement bumper for my car, right? I'm trying to replace all the bad body parts and paint this thing and sell it. And so I buy like a $400 bumper. It's a like OEM replacement. It's not like fancy aftermarket or anything, but you know, it's expensive. And it's the bumper was like $180. The fucking shipping is what's so expensive because the box is the size of a goddamn studio apartment, you know? Yeah. And so this thing shows up after I wait for a while and I unbox it. And so like, it's this crazy like plastic that I was not aware of. I unbox it and the bumper is straight up folded in half. It's a plastic bumper. It's folded in half and like taped up to fit in this box. And I was like, yo, what the fuck?
So you're supposed to take it out and depress it?
Yeah, so so I take it out and it's folded so hard that like it's creasing like a motherfucker. Like it's so creased up that it's like I'm never gonna get these creases out. Like what the fuck? My bumper is ruined. Like how am I gonna even unfold this thing? It's like stuck in this position. And then I did some reading on it. I was on hold with like customer service because I was about to fucking rip them one.
Like what the fuck? You sent me a broken bumper, you son of a bitch.
And I was looking through the emails.
You fucked my bumper up
before you sent it to me.
Yeah, that was the thing I was so pissed off about.
Like you broke it and then you put it in the box.
Yeah, dude.
Sent it to me after taking my goddamn money.
Yeah. Oh, I was so goddamn mad, dude. And not to mention, it was a bitch to get out of the box, and it covered my entire living room in stuff.
I would feel if that's what I legitimately thought.
I would have exploded.
You basically was just like, oh, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah, dude, exactly. that's what I
fuck
thought.
Him, that's why.
Fuck him. I don't even know him, but you know what? Fuck this guy.
I'm scrolling through the email to get my like order number and stuff, and I see there's like in red letters at the bottom as like a disclaimer is like, these items shipped. These items are folded to be shipped. They are made of a special like unbreakable plastic where like all you have to do is set it, like lay it on a certain way, hit it with a heat gun, and it'll start unfolding. And then you let it rest for like 24 hours, and it'll go back to its shape. Well, sure enough, they were right. I hit it with the heat gun. I unbent it. Those creases went right back to how they should, and everything was right with the world. Well, that is until it got all cold around here because I'm back in town. One of the things I really wanted to do, I had the new front bumper to put on, I had a new front fender to put on, and I had 2 new headlights. And the headlights, in order to change the bulbs or even like replace the whole headlight, you have to take the bumper off of this car. It's ridiculous, but so I put everything together. I take all the old shit off, I put all the new shit on, and then I realized like, oh, I made a mistake. I didn't put the turn signal bulbs in the new lights, so now I have to take the bumper back off. And I have to take the lights back off and put the bulbs in and put it all back together. And so I spend like basically a whole day out there in the cold, and I'm done. I'm cleaning up everything. The last thing I have to do is put the bumper back on. It's all like clips. They snap into place. You know what I mean? Well, this fucking unbreakable plastic is so cold that I put the bumper on and I bang one side into place and I move around to the other side and I start banging on it. And it just fucking snaps in half, dude. It breaks.
The whole shit?
No, not the whole thing, but there's like a 5 or 6 inch crack going straight down on the corner now. And it's on the corner too, so it's like flexed, like it's opening up. Like, oh, I was so fucking mad, dude. And it was like, am I gonna do all that again and pay all that money and like wait around and like, I can't do it, dude. I'm gonna put fucking wood filler or top ramen or whatever the fuck people are using these days. I'm filling that shit and I'm sanding it down. I'm done with this thing.
I've seen those fucking videos where they like break the freaking bathroom sink and then like use Top Ramen to build a new scene. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
You ever seen that shit?
No.
Okay, it's like if they're like trying,
crazy.
instead of like a wood filler or Bondo that would fill a dent or a gap in a surface, they just take Top Ramen and like crush it up and then use like resin or something or crazy glue. Yeah, and effectively the Top Ramen acts as like a gluing agent, like the sawdust in wood filler.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like using metal flakes or something like that for bonding agents.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
to, like,
You just want
tensile
something to be
strength.
in that space.
But the
you know?
fucking intense shit that they
Yeah.
replaced with
Fucking
it.
gnarly.
And then
You'd
they
be pissed when
seal
it
it.
broke again.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck? This is
what
Top
the fuck
Merchant.
is this?
Dude, they better at least put some of that like chicken flavor powder in the middle of it somewhere. So
Oh my God,
when it
I
breaks
love
open,
that shit.
I'll be like, take a bite of
I
it.
love me some fucking
Oh,
ramen.
dude, ramen is bomb. I don't eat enough of it. I should. It's good for you.
My favorite's the green pack, the chili, or it's like a chili lime or something like that.
I don't think I have to flavor over here. That's an exotic one there.
That is-
Oh man, they're the
That's
best
not
ones.
their shit.
You know what's the worst one? And I'll go to my grave on this. Is the shrimp one. I don't fuck
Yeah.
with any
Nope.
pre-dried, like add the water type of seafood stuff. No, thank you.
I hate the shrimp. I figured you already fucking eating Top
I
Ramen.
don't-
like the fuck,
I don't even
you're gonna
like-
draw the line at this fucking prepackaged shrimp.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
shit
look.
comes to you fucking in a brick.
That's a good point. That is a good
That's a
point.
good point.
This shit comes to you in a
chicken
brick.
is a powder.
Yeah, the chicken's powder.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna draw the line at some fucking prepackaged shrimp. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I love the fucking shrimp.
Alright.
It fucking
I don't-
tastes delicious.
Respect.
I don't actually eat shrimp. If I like the flavor of shrimp, I could see eating a thing of shrimp. I don't even
But-
really like chicken though, but whatever they fucking add to that chicken shit, the like
it's
spice,
fire.
is
Yeah.
fucking
Fuego.
I'll tell you
bang.
what it is. It's a shitload of salt.
It's fuego.
That makes
I love
everything
it,
great.
and I love salt.
Everything.
Thank you,
But
sodium.
shrimp is also my absolute favorite food. So
Shrimp-
I'm
I mean,
biased.
look.
I'm biased as a motherfucker because
That's-
it's my
but see, that's understandable. If
it's
I ate
extremely
shrimp,
hard.
I would-
Like this is what I was like when people say, "Oh, this is my favorite food," and I'm like, "Oh, well, you can eat it right now." And I'm like, at any time, I will be okay eating shrimp prepared any type of way.
Yeah.
Like from
Shrimp cocktail.
from cold on top of a shrimp cocktail, all the way to like whatever, all like
Coconut
yeah,
fried.
coconut fry, whatever
Dude,
you
yeah.
want to do to
They
it.
do that?
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to fuck it up for me. You know, like it's like
Well,
if you make
that's
me bad
gnarly.
shrimp, and you make shrimp for me, and I think it's bad, you did something to it. Like
Well,
you,
yeah, because your line is pre-dried shrimp.
yeah,
so-
that's what I'm saying. Like
Top
my
ramen
bar
level shrimp is
my
good enough.
bar is pretty low. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
see, and I'm the opposite though, because I do like shrimp. I have to be in
I'm
the
not a
mood
shrimp
for
guy.
most seafood, unless it's salmon. Like I'll consume salmon at any time, especially like smoked salmon,
Oh,
and
yeah,
not
I
that
love
lox
salmon.
bullshit for you motherfuckers
I
on the
love
East Coast.
salmon.
What?
I'm talking.
Oh, here's the question. I have a real question. What is the flavor profile that you get from fish that's different from another fish?
Fish to fish?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
I've
like
had
there's just
salmon,
more of it
I've
that-
had
yeah,
bass.
that's it.
I've had fucking some other weird fucking one I can't even remember the name of. And I'm not a fan of fish, and they all tasted exactly the
well,
fucking
that's
same.
probably
Yeah,
why.
it's
Okay.
pretty. It's yeah. They just some
It's
of them
like
taste a little more
if you
fishy
don't,
than
if
others.
you don't like
that's it.
wine, or if you don't drink wine, and I'm no like
You want
fucking
fishy?
soft soothing. What's the word for those fancy
Connoisseur,
wine
yeah.
people?
Yeah, connoisseur.
No,
or
there's
like
a name.
Aficionado or
Dude,
Aficionado's one for sure.
it's like with an S, like a so.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
dude, it's a crazy. It's like the chef version of someone that
wine.
makes wine
Okay.
or tastes wine. Anyway, point is, like, if you're someone that's into wine, you can taste the difference between like two different red wines, whereas like most other people they can't really
Yeah,
tell.
yeah.
Or same with like
Whatever
beer.
shit.
Like beer was just beer until I like started drinking kind of different kinds, and now it's like, oh yeah, I like this kind more than this
More,
kind.
yeah.
You know, and
Hold up. But see, beer does have a different flavor depending on like stout to like a clear. But fish tastes like fish.
well, but you could compare that to like shrimp tastes different than salmon.
Does it though?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
I could honestly,
All-
I could
anything
honestly,
that
I
comes
could
out of the
see
sea
how
tastes
you
like the
could say
sea.
that. I like it's just that fishy.
Yeah.
There's just like
I think
and
they're
that-
very. There are a lot of.
I'm not a
it's
fan of
because
fishy.
it's because that particular the particular fishy flavor profile whatsoever, because it exists throughout all of seafood.
Yeah.
That's why you like none of seafood.
Yeah,
that's
right.
why
I'm
you don't
not
care
a
for
big
any
fan of it.
seafood.
It
Yeah,
all
the
tastes
differences
salt.
The
between
differences
different-
between the differences are like things that like people who actually eat seafood can be like, oh, I love shrimp or I love salmon, but I hate cod or
Yeah,
I
right,
absolutely
right.
hate catfish. Like
And there's people like that. And like
Yeah.
for me, I don't eat fish so much to where it's like, oh, I love a good whitetail fillet, but I don't fuck with tuna. Like
I'm from the South, man. I love seafood. You could pretty much throw a net in the fucking ocean, and whatever you pull out of it, you can boil it and boil it in freaking hot boiled sauce, and I'll eat it, and that's delicious to me.
Dude, that's one place I've never gone is the South. I haven't made my way there yet. I'm very curious though.
You got to. I think you.
I want to eat. I want to go. I hear the food is like the best part.
And you are absolutely correct.
See, I feel like I would be hella disrespectful there. I'm the guy that orders like plain cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah,
and shit like that. Like
dude,
I have a very basic palate. It's so limited. It's very limited.
But if you go to some of the whole little spots, even in the first quarter, and just order like
I would
basic
love to
cheeseburger, you still probably have your mind
like
blown.
the Cajun fries.
It's a huge
like,
tourist attraction.
All the kind of Cajun stuff, I could get down with that.
Yeah.
Like Cajun spice is a different kind of spice, and I enjoy that spice. Like
Yeah,
it's
Cajun's
still
good.
hot for me, and I sweat, but it's a good hot, and it doesn't like overpower the
sweet spot.
flavor of shit. Like the spices and like the other shit that they put with it.
Bro,
is fucking
the
delicious.
food in New Orleans is so good. I developed the eating problem when I left. Everything everywhere else tastes bland because I grew up and I was raised in a place where the food was flavored like they flavor food in New Orleans. Damn. So I was extremely
See, that sounds right up my alley because I love a lot of flavor. Like I cook with a lot of seasoning and a lot of like citrus because I love just really bold flavors.
Yeah, you love a crawfish ball at my family's house. There's a lot of stuff in it besides seafood, even if you don't like crawfish.
Dude, it sounds good. I don't know if I've ever had crawfish. That's like a crustacean, right?
Almost basically
close to a lobster.
Basically, kind of like a prawn.
Or a prawn.
Definitely not lobster. They were like some people call them mud bugs. Like they were like
Well, I mean, shrimp are like the bugs of the ocean.
And you usually eat them with shrimp, and they're really close to the way the shrimp are slightly more expensive than crawfish, a lot more expensive than crawfish. But yeah, I guess you can look at them and be like, yeah, this is a little mini lobster, but in the same way, like you say, like the Island Boys are rappers and Eminem's a rapper, like it's just different, right?
Yeah,
but it's delicious all the same.
Well, it probably speaks to the fact that, like Zach was saying, oh shit, just doxed you. Sorry. Like Lazy was saying.
Oh no, the people know my name. It's on my. I have a business license, so like.
Nice. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, they gotta know me.
The seafoods are so close together in flavor that as long as you're like seasoning it good and cooking it good, that's probably 80% of the total flavor anyways, is doing it right from the start.
Most of it.
Man, I really enjoy cooking, but I'm not great at it by any means. But one thing I've learned with cooking is like cleaning as you go. And like if you need 2 eggs, instead of like pulling the whole carton out, setting it on the counter, taking out 2 eggs, and now the carton is just sitting there on the counter starting to mingle with everything else. I have learned over the years, oh dude, if I just put the carton back in the fridge after I grab the eggs out, now I just have 2 eggs on the counter instead of a giant cardboard box. And you extrapolate that out to like all the ingredients you're using, whether you're like trying to make a cake or like making, some, I don't know, frying something or whatever it is. Like that changed the game for me for like cooking myself.
That's dope.
It's like it made it feel accessible. 'Cause cooking was always like so. I don't know if intimidating is the right word, but like
I was literally just about to say that. It was definitely intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe that is the right word because it's like it seems like so much, and like when you try to do something and you're not like cleaning things up and being organized, the counters get so full of shit. Every surface is covered. You got nowhere to put anything. It's stressful.
Yeah,
meanwhile, like
everything's like on the stove, finishing up, you're stirring it. Now you got nowhere to put anything when it's done.
It's one of the things that like I feel like it's a sort of rare in our lives that we like force ourselves to do, like in a certain time limit. Like cooking is like you have a time limit. You have to get this thing done
before this thing.
Yeah,
this next.
And so especially in like a small kitchen where you don't have a lot of space, dude, it's really stressful.
Oh, yeah.
I got bullied into learning how to cook. Like you said, I was extremely intimidating of cooking. Like the flames and hot play. Like I didn't want to fuck.
Well,
with
how
it
do you know what
whatsoever.
temperature to put the burner on?
Yeah, I'm like, none of that even mattered to me. I was like, I don't want to touch it. It's all hot. I hated grease popping up at me and whatnot. But
bacon burns.
I ended up working in this kitchen, one of my like, probably my second job ever, in this Italian restaurant owned by some Turkish people. I started out just making salads, like, you know.
Yeah,
and,
like prep cook.
Yeah, and then I guess like their grandmother wanted to come in and have a job, so she like kicked me off of salads, and I guess I had to go and like stretch pizza dough. So I got good at stretching pizza dough or whatever. And then like after a while they get busy and people leave and quit or whatever. And then I get up to like actually making the pizzas, and I get to run it through the oven, and I'm putting the toppings on or whatever. And I end up going to, you know, basically. There was always some random event of some crazy bullshit where I end up getting moved up, like just you've been doing this, hey, I try this now, like now you're gonna do this, and I end up making like the calzones and the sandwiches and stuff like that. Like then I started doing that type of stuff.
What was the best? What was your favorite stop you made along the way there?
Probably making the pizzas.
Yeah, like putting all the toppings on and running them in the oven.
Yeah, when I was putting the toppings on, it was the easiest job. Yeah. It became demanding because it was an Italian restaurant, but pizza was one of the things that they did a large volume of.
Sure.
And so you're busy as hell, and you have to like you ever seen that commercial of the guy that Domino's where he's just flipping boxes and he's just
world record?
That was me. Like I was like I had a routine of like I do 10 boxes and then I get all my pizzas in them or whatever, and I get them out and I do 10 boxes and like it was crazy. So but when it was slow, I would also have the restaurant would be busy and pizzas would be slow, and so I would have a huge amount of free time. So then I got to know my employees. We kick it, and you know we smoke weed when they're on break, and I got to know the people in the front or whatever. Then I kind of started running back and helping out with the bar, and then I kind of became like this bar back. I was 14 years old, you know, like, and I'm working behind the bar, helping out the bar guy. Then I got addicted to cheesecake or whatever, and I started stealing from the cheesecake thing. I'd take home whatever was left of the cheesecake, even if it was all of it. Like, if someone had ordered a piece, I'm taking the whole rest of the cheesecake home.
Well, was it like it's going to get tossed at the end of the night kind of thing?
I'm not even sure. Sometimes they tossed it, and sometimes they didn't. And
it's getting tossed in my belly.
When I worked there, most of the times I took it. That's what happened to it. So like,
it's like a tip.
Yeah, basically, I just kind of take it.
I usually worked as a dishwasher. I worked as a grill guy at Wendy's for a little while.
Nice.
And I literally just
How's
did
the
that.
beef build?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I cook a mean burger. I tell you that.
Yeah. But the chef of the rest, the actual chef was this old black Jamaican dude he used to be the chef for like celebrities. Like he had like cook for like India Ari. He was like her private chef and stuff like that. And he was really lively dude. And I can like he's someone like he would obviously be like, you know, the life of any room he walked into.
Yeah, right.
So he kept the kitchen lively. It was a fun place to work because of him.
That's cool.
But he was also kind of like a slack or whatever. Even though he was an amazing chef, he could do whatever he wanted, quick as fuck, or whatever, and he'd be gone. He'd be outside.
Yeah, but he's like me. He likes to
orders
be lazy.
will pile up, and we're like, "Yo, orders are piling up," and then he'll come back and like knock it all out and be done.
Go smoke another cigarette.
Yeah, and then go smoke another cigarette. And the guy, he started doing that to the point where he started kind of like. He was like, "Hey, do this for me while I go step out here." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to do it. Don't make me get on the stove."
Yeah.
And he slowly kind of made me do everything. And then before I knew it, he's like, "Yeah, you had the heavy cream, then you had this oregano, and then you had this, and blah blah blah. You got this Alfredo sauce." And I'm like, "Oh shit, all right." And then I'm like memorizing it so much, and I'm realizing that I'm doing his fucking job.
Yep.
And he's never here. He's always outside hitting on bitches at Jazz Fest and shit. And I'm just like. Being the chef of the restaurant, like
just comes back in at the end of the shift to get tipped out for the night.
Exactly, comes to get tipped out for the night.
I'm
behind off fucking calzones
paycheck.
and sandwiches because I'm doing all of his shit. But after a while, I was like, yeah, I need to get good at this, and then I started to learn to make the whole menu basically, and then the owner started to notice or whatever. And then I got a raise. I didn't get a huge raise, and they definitely didn't pay me like they paid him.
Yeah, right.
But they started to notice. I was like, oh yeah, you can cook. Yeah, you can be a cook.
You're gonna do this now.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a very similar experience. My first job was I believe I was 15. I know it started under the table, but it was at this like ice cream shop / little burger joint Just kind of like a 50s diner style place.
That's what I was saying, like milkshakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sick.
And I started out washing dishes, and then the head cook was she was like a total meth head. Not to mention she was like in her 70s, like a career cook at like a career line cook. It's been a rough ride, and you can hear it in her voice, and it's because of she's probably smoked 400,000 packs of Pyramid Selects.
On her shift alone.
Fuck yeah.
On her break.
And
Hell yeah,
so
lady,
she
keep it
kind of did
going.
the same thing where like I started out at the dishwasher, and then it was like when that was slow, she'd have me go like scoop ice cream for people, and then come back in, and then it started to be like I started to do all the prep cooking and chopping up the lettuce and the stuff for burgers, tomatoes, and like running the giant ham through the big slicing wheel machine, slicing all the meat. And before I know it, she would be outside smoking she'd smoke like 10 cigarettes and talk to people outside. I mean, it's like almost exactly like your story, but and I'd be in there. Like I remember there was a time when I was, and granted, this is a small place, maybe like 6 tables in there. But I'm taking people's orders. I'm going into the back. I'm washing dishes to put their orders on, cooking their orders, serving it up, and taking it back out to them. And then I got tipped out at the end of the night as the dishwasher, and all the shitty old like waitresses and stuff there. They would give me like $1 a night, like, oh yeah, here you go, honey, tipped you out, as if like that was good enough for me. I'm only 16 or 15 or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Dude,
Oh, man.
it was fucked up.
And see, in the midway of each one of your stories is where I got fired.
Yeah.
That's when I go, hold the fuck up. I ain't getting paid to do your shit, dude. I'm going out to smoke. My job's done. Excuse me, you've been here for 24 hours? That's your last 24 hours, sir. All right, well, fuck you too, and have a nice night. That's why I've gone through so many jobs. Like,
looking back on it, that was real. Like I had a really dope job to have. Like that was like a really like, even though I was way too young to be working. Like, and they pulled some strings just because they were short of people. Like where I was, I had kind of just gotten kicked out of my mom's house. I was living with my grandmother, and she just so happened to live a block over from the fairgrounds in New Orleans. The horse racetrack is where they host the Jazz Festival, which is a huge festival in New Orleans. Yeah. And so it was around the same time that festival happened. And so it's over the course of a weekend, so that like around that entire season, it's huge amounts of traffic. So we're busy at work, but when we're not busy, it's still lively in the neighborhood, and it like, like people are visiting New Orleans from out of town, so they're like, yeah, let's stop at this little this little trendy little Italian spot, or like them walking just in the back streets. They just want to talk to locals or whatever,
what's up,
and say what's up and see what we're like. And like I was a completely different person back then. I was like extremely hood, hood. We're in the middle of the ghetto still. Even though we're right next to one of these touristy attractions, but it was fun. Like I got to learn people at a really young age. I got to learn work ethic, or moving up in a system at a really young age, and it built a lot of character for me. And that was even my first look at how other people spent their money, or like what they did with their money, in that when I really started, I was like, oh shit, you live on this. I was like, I know I couldn't, what I see my mom and grandmother do, I can't do what I bring home. So you're living on this. So I was like, I got a sense of what reality was kind of young in the working sense.
Yeah, I started working at 7.
Jesus Christ, where'd you grow up? China?
Just born right into the sweatshop.
Are they still doing that over there?
So no, it was like weekends is what it started as, and it was cleaning bathrooms for my dojo, so I could save up money to go to. This is like 2000.
Karate camps.
That is commendable. You bring honor to your family.
Yeah, so I was trying to get. My family fucked my honor. Wait until I get to the end of the story. It's not great. So I save up like $2,500, right? And I'm getting paid like $6. I'm doing 2 hours worth of work every weekend. It takes a while to save this up. Yeah. So it's been a while that I'm saving this up.
It's been a hot minute.
Planning to go to this Y2K LA tournament, like a couple years in advance. Like, this is the plan. And I go and do a Mormon TV show, like, sketch thing in a gym that was, like, on a public broadcast.
Did they pay for it?
No. Most definitely not.
Damn.
It was volunteer.
You got an IMDb page?
I do not.
You gotta find that footage.
Right.
That would be hilarious. I should scour the internet for it.
Dude, just
You
ask
just
the
find a
Mormons. They
little-
have like a vault built into a mountain in, I think it's in Utah somewhere, that has everyone's like social security
They
number and
probably,
shit.
yeah, they probably have that footage. It was at the Mormon church over in like Lake Stevens area, like as you're entering Lake Stevens from like the hub of exits and entrances there. There's like a church off on the left-hand side if you're going up that way. And it was down in their little gym that we did it. And after that, my parents go, "Hey, so you know that tournament you're going to? Not anymore."
Dude.
Ganked all my money and left me enough to get a skateboard. That's how I got into skateboarding.
So you're like, dude, fuck karate. I'm just gonna go skate.
Oh, dude.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I was like, this is a no-go. Well, they brought my stepsister Kaylee out, and then we went to Canada, and it rained the whole time. It was pretty cool.
I mean, I guess on the bright side of things, you got something out of the whole thing.
Yeah, I did.
Instead of just getting like completely
I also
screwed.
got a Limp Bizkit CD, but
That's also got a little
There you
bit.
go. Look at that.
it was pretty cool.
So you're about even.
Yeah, I did. I was listening to Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavor Water on repeat for a good minute.
I'm assuming in headphones. So you can't
had
sit
to
here.
be. Oh, had to be.
Yeah.
If they would have known that I had the CD,
Oh yeah.
it would have been murder.
Still be grounded.
Oh,
He's
still to this day, yeah.
Still,
Yeah,
Just show up
it was
and be
the
like,
same
"You're
way,
still
dude.
grounded."
I had to hide the secular music that I listened to because growing up a pretty religious family and stuff, like we weren't allowed to listen to like the radio that wasn't like the Christian radio station. There was like 2 radio stations that we could listen to.
Yep, Spirit 105.3.
Yep, and Praise 106.5.
Yeah, baby. You know the other one.
But those, so my parents, I really wanted an MP3 player for Christmas, and this was back when they were hot shit,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I asked for one, and they got me what they thought was an MP3 player, but turns out it was this shitty. It wasn't an MP3 player. It was an AM FM radio in the shape of an MP3 player. And dude, even if you remember those MP3 players when they came, they had a clear, transparent sticker on the screen that showed what the screen would look like when you turned it on. It had a fucking MP3 player. It showed an MP3. Like it showed now playing,
Dude,
the
I bought
Gorillas,
one.
whatever.
I straight up bought
And-
one of those.
Yeah,
I bought one of those.
My
because
parents,
it got me.
had one,
parents
too.
bought one for me too, thinking it was an MP3 player. Well, little did they know it was an FM radio, and it was my key to the outside world. And I would listen to like 99.9, and like I would listen, dude. I would listen to like Tom Likas. I don't know if you guys remember that
dude,
guy, but
Likas in the mornings.
dude, blow
and
me
shit.
up, Tom.
Yeah.
Dude, I would be laying in bed like just listening to all this stuff I wasn't allowed to listen to, and my parents just figured I was listening to Michael W. Smith's new single on my MP3 player that could hold like 6 songs.
I do have to give mad respect to my stepdad. As I got like 7, 8 years old, he did start slipping me like, it wasn't like actual Iron Maiden. It would be like a Call to Iron, a tribute album. So it'd be like other bands tributing Iron Maiden and shit. And he's like, "I'll slip you this because if this one gets thrown away, I don't have a problem with it." Like, just make sure you don't play it too fucking loud. Throw your headphones on. Shit. Like, he would toss me a little bit of music, but even as my cousin moved in, like, I'd have to steal his Slipknot CDs back consistently. They would be in the trunk of my mom's van all the time in a little box. And she never thought that we knew, even though it would disappear from there all the time, and it would be back in the house, and you'd have to take it back. Like, who do you think did it?
You know, it'd be hilarious is if she was looking around for those, like, fuck, I really thought I was gonna listen to my Slipknot CD in the car today. The goddamn kids took it.
Stole it, you
You
son of a bitch.
Sneaking her Slipknot.
And then, honestly, she probably would have, like, I caught her smoking cigarettes years later.
Yeah.
My stepdad happened to be at a party that I was at, and then she showed up to pick him up, and I caught her smoking. I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Well, I mean,
Whose
I feel
cigarettes
like-
do you think I took from the first jump?
I feel like, and I'm not a parent, so I can't speak from experience. I can speak from experience as a child, though, and I feel like parents a lot of times, like when they do stuff like take music that they think is bad for you to listen to, or like, you know, get you in trouble for like, I don't know, smoking cigarettes or something. I think for the most part, all they're trying to do is like set a good example for you of like things like what they believe, you know, in their beliefs and their views are like a good or bad thing. So like, you know, for example, if your parents think that kind of music is bad for kids and their beliefs say that like, hey, we don't want you to listen to this, you know, they're just acting in what they believe is your best interest. But the problem with that is that assumes that your child is going to share all of your beliefs. Yeah. You know?
And that's what most parents want, though.
Right.
Yeah. Smart parents understand that their kids are going to be
who they're going to be.
They're going to be.
Right. And they don't try to force them into anything.
It around that way.
Right.
Yeah, I was a little bit more extreme of a kid. I was really, really bad. So my mom, like, canceled birthdays and holidays. Like,
yeah. See, but you went to like public school and stuff right off of the jump, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, like I went to a Catholic public school or private school basically. I went to Immaculate Conception over here.
Oh yeah, fancy.
Oh my God, everybody's like in the same uniforms. I was like, this is
that's
prison.
so whack. I would have hated.
I had to wear uniforms at my elementary school.
Oh
really?
These things they're fucking ridiculous. But it wasn't even
you have
uniforms.
to in New Orleans. Like they need to be able to identify where you belong.
I mean that makes sense. Yeah, because
it's a very, very like dangerous like
kids could be in the wrong neighborhood and die.
Exactly.
Like we can't have you at this school.
Like they know they see yellow shirt, this neighborhood, not a good idea. You know, like. So, something's going on.
We didn't have so much of that issue, but it was just like it's right next to Everett High School, and it was a whack place. The teacher didn't like me first off. It's so funny. Her name's Miss White. She was like an Islander lady, and she did not like the white kids. Yeah. She had a very big problem with me. Did not like me, and so she. Like, we'd have this thing where you would get called up to sit next to the teacher.
And if you're being bad?
No, just like everybody had, and you would get like less work, and you would just run through the office and grab stuff for her.
Like
and
teacher assistant,
yeah,
little TA.
A little TA for the day.
That was always fun.
Whether you pick me last or first from my first name or my last name does not matter to me. But I never got picked. Like, my shit came up one time. Yeah. And it lasted for like 5 seconds, and then she sent me back to my desk and sent somebody else up. And she just didn't like me specifically for some reason. And I was friends with somebody that she did like, and so she tried to turn him against me too. And it was bad. And then she's like, oh yeah, he's ADD. So we need to put him on Ritalin. Then my mom flipped out at this lady. And it caused a big stir with the school that my grandparents worked at. So it was like
sounds like drama.
There was
a lot of
serious
drama. Elementary school?
I was fucking first grade.
Yeah.
I did kindergarten, went through that flying colors, and then first grade it was all bad. But I did have like a reading issue. I had weak eye muscles, and it caused like a weird dyslexia where like the letters would stack on top of each other, and so I couldn't read well, and it was a problem. But as soon as I had glasses, it was pretty good. And then but yeah, they pulled me out of school first grade. They were like, nah. So then I was homeschooled from there.
I'm surprised I wasn't always homeschooled. It took me until middle school to get homeschooled.
Yeah, I got the homeschool from same time period. I went to kindergarten in first grade, and then everything else was homeschool up till my junior year of high school.
See, I got freshman year of high school, but it was just for ROTC.
Oh yeah.
And like,
so you'd only be at the school for like small periods.
Yeah, for one period.
And really, it's not like you're mingling around. Really, you're in that RTC trailer, probably, right?
Oh yeah, we were down.
Was it a full building or was it a trailer?
Down in the full building. We had our own spot down below, but they ended up like cutting that up big time. But yeah, that whole thing was, I got to do that, and then I started getting more classes allowed. But I tried taking like a world history 3 religion, and the teacher got cussed out so bad by my mom that when I came in, he's like, fuck you.
Get out of my class.
Yeah, get out of my class. I wanted to bring something back, though. Familiar.
Hit the Google. Can you do a Google pronunciation on that? This is the wine people.
How do you Google pronunciate?
Copy, like paste that into the search bar and type pronunciation, I guess. I think it'll probably autofill if you. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, okay. Let's hear this. Is this gonna play for the people too?
It should.
Are we gonna be able to hear it?
Sommelier.
Hold on a second.
Sommelier.
Let's get that again.
Sommelier.
Sommelier. Sommelier. Yeah, a wine sommelier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bringing that back.
We figured out the word.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
So wait, can you get a definition on that? Because I'm curious now, like what they're actually. Because like I feel like a connoisseur, they know a lot of wine. They like to drink the wine. But what does the sommelier? Are they the guy like smashing the grapes?
A wine sommelier is a wine waiter or steward, a trained and knowledgeable professional providing the service of wines, usually in a restaurant setting.
Interesting. So they maybe that's like the top level connoisseur.
They're like
you're
the
a
genius
sommelier.
bar for
Now that I
wine.
think about it, I think you have to be like certified to be a sommelier.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure you could
There's
just do it
also-
online, just like becoming like a preacher or like a reverend or whatever.
Oenophilia? Oenophilia?
Monophilia? What is that? Sounds like
In a general sense, however, oenophilia simply refers to the enjoyment of wine, often by laymen. Oenophilias are also known as wine aficionados or connoisseurs.
So aficionado, connoisseur, sommelier. That's like the power rankings of.
So the sommelier is
people that like
monophilia,
Yeah, like the
helping what?
aficionado and connoisseur are under the same umbrella as oenophilia.
I bet it's like a winophilia.
A winophilia.
A winophilia. And I bet you that there's an winophobia, and that's people that are afraid of wine.
I bet you there is. I'm gonna see how this is said though. Let's paste that one in there.
I'm curious now.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely afraid of wine when I woke up last weekend with a hangover, dude. I was drinking. I went
Get
from
that shit away
beers
from me.
to shots to like cocktails to wines. Like, oh my god,
you were.
that was terrible. It was a
Yeah,
terrible
you were
idea.
being
Terrible
risky
idea. But
there.
I mean, shit, it wasn't on my dime, so like, go for it. We get a pronunciation guide here.
It didn't come up in Google, but there's something on YouTube, so.
Oenophilia. I think it's what is
Enophilia.
Latin is vino, so it looks like it's probably rooted there.
Enophilia.
Enophilia. That sounds Italian.
Enophilia. Yeah, because the way that it looks in the breakdown is nof, N-O-F, list.
No.
Enough us list. Enough a list.
Interesting. Well, enough of that.
that.
Let's see if
I don't want to go back to a different gas station.
What's
the fear?
Fear of wine? I bet it's a wine, a wheel. I don't know how to say it, but it's that word, phobia.
Winophobia.
Basically, oeniophobia.
Yeah,
Oeniophobia,
same
yeah.
root word.
Hey, yeah, you were right. I thought that was a stretch, to be honest.
1 year of
yeah.
Latin in like 4th grade, baby.
Hey, right? Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I definitely thought I thought that was a reach, but you're spot on the money there.
I mean, I just know that like philia is like a love, and phobia, they're like philia and phobia, they're opposites of each other.
Okay. I knew what a phobia was. I didn't exactly know what a philia was. So.
Philia is definitely the less common, doesn't get as much play as the phobia.
Well, that's weird. The word comes
It's
up,
like
but then Google tells me
Wait,
that it's
too.
spelled with a K instead of an N, even though that's.
Oh, that sounds like some Greek shit. What's your phobia? You guys got a main phobia?
Oh yeah, oenophobia or oeniophobia
That's their phobia?
is also called. No, that's the wine phobia. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna say he's afraid of wine. How about you?
Basophobia, the fear of not being able to
That's a
stand
good
up.
ass question. I have no idea.
Do you know what basophobia is?
Phobia of
Bosophobia?
Basos.
Yeah, I mean, duh. It's right there in the name.
It says it right there.
Can you spell it?
BASOPHOBIA.
Basophobia. Basso. I'm trying to think of Latin. I mean, it sounds like bass to me.
Yeah. So what is like the word base, which means?
Is it a
Greek.
fear of the ground?
Close. Very close.
What is it?
Base jumping? Fear of hitting the ground from base jumping?
Kind of close. Like
I don't know if the Greeks were
first part is close.
were doing base jumping back then. I don't know if they had a word for it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
called This Is Sparta.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Kicked him
don't
in the
think they
hole.
planned on surviving it maybe back then, but
Yeah,
they
that's
probably
true.
had something similar.
So this is the fear of not being able to stand up or walk.
Whoa.
A term delivered from the root word base, which means stepping in Greek.
Interesting.
So we were on the right vein.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
You guys want to try one more?
Yeah, give me another one.
Hell yeah, I like this. Let's do another one.
Agliophobia. Aglio. Aglio.
You ain't got no alibi, yo.
Agliophobia.
Aglio. Okay, what is aglio? I'm gonna say
Unfortunately, it doesn't give me a root word. Like it did the
Well, that's not fucking helpful at all.
I think if you just split up the phobia off the end, you got the root word. So aglio, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't tell me what aglio is in Greek or anything.
Aglio.
Is
I'm
it
gonna
a
say.
fear of like being by yourself.
I'm gonna say it's a fear.
I would think that from the name, but it's. I mean, it could, in some way, be.
I'm gonna say it's a fear of the ocean.
No.
No, that's
Okay,
that's
nope.
definitely a word that's a little bit more direct than that for the fear of the ocean.
Yeah.
Aglio. Let's see, oh, is it a fear of angles?
No.
That's what I want. Angliophobia.
Is it a fear of angels?
No.
That's a good guess.
Is it a fear of Los Angeles?
That's a great guess, but
The Latins were historically
No.
very afraid of the greater Los Angeles area.
The great Los Angeles.
So
They
it
typically
says-
stayed out of there.
no. The fear of pain or fear of suffering.
I don't think that's a phobia. That's just something to be afraid of. Like,
Yeah, I just think like that's instinct.
yeah,
girl.
that's your instincts. Agliophobia, huh?
You want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah, I'm liking this game. Fucking
Alright.
another round of guess that fucking phobia or whatever.
This one's got a lot more information to it, so I might be able to give you hints. Let's see. Algophobia. So ALGO phobia.
Algo. That's like the opposite of aglo, or it's just that's pretty close. Algophobia.
When I hear algo, I think of Spanish and it means something.
I think of an algorithm. Is it a fear of math?
This one's gonna
A
be
fear of
difficult because
arithmetic?
it could be multiple answers from what I'm getting here.
I'm going with math or arithmetic.
Okay, and then when I give
Although
you
that'd
like
probably
a
be
full readout,
arithmophobia because that's already like
Algo?
a Latin word. Algo, yeah.
Yeah.
Algophobia.
Algo.
Gotta put in some Jeopardy music.
right?
Do that in post.
Yeah, we'll throw that in post. I'll have to set it up for next time too. So.
Yeah, I got nothing on algophobia. That's
Okay.
All right, give it to us.
So it says algophobia may be a result of negative emotion experienced, negative emotional experiences that can be either directly or indirectly linked to an object or situational fear. In just as many cases, algophobia may have become worse over time, or as more and more sophisticated safety behaviors and routines are developed.
So it's like I don't understand. It's,
so I was right.
See, you are. That's what I was saying.
So
It's
I
like-
was right.
Well,
So it's Latin. So it's a Latin root word. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because I said
think
in
they all-
Spanish,
they
I
all
said
are, yeah.
algo. It's Spanish. Algo is just like something.
Really?
Yeah.
I think cosa is like thing or like. But I think algo is just like when you're saying like something.
okay.
I'm
like-
saying, and that's why I was saying I
It's
think
just
it's
like the
really
fear
like,
of something,
It's
like-
honestly multiple choice because
So-
it encompasses all the fears of anything
Yeah.
that gives you fear.
It's almost like
yeah.
an
So
it's
anxiety,
almost
like
a
a
trick
fear,
question.
like
Yeah.
a
It's a
fear
trick
of
question.
anxiety. Maybe.
Yeah, basically.
Of
Yeah,
something.
like either an
you're just
object
afraid of
or a
something.
situational
Interesting.
fear. So like something that's direct or indirectly linked to an object or situational fear. So if like math is the thing that's directly or
Yeah.
indirectly something that gives
So
you
you're freak out
situational
at
fear.
books.
Yeah,
he freak out
then
at textbooks.
it's like every phobia is underneath of that.
Interesting.
Algophobia.
Well, look at that. Learned a little Latin today on the show, huh?
Nice.
Yeah. Et tu, Brute. That's my Latin.
Ciao.
Yep. So, hey, where are we at right now? What's our time? About time to wrap? What do we got?
I don't know.
I'm going to guess.
We've been here hanging out with the homies.
I'm going to guess
They've been
we're
going through
at
all this Latin with us.
1:21.
105.
105?
1:4:51.
Oh my God! How scary accurate was that?
Damn, dude.
And it is now
Damn. That was
1:05.
So
good.
you were seconds away
I
on
was
that guess.
seconds away. I'm
Literally.
fucking Nostradamus. I can
Wow.
predict 6 seconds.
Within a 6-second radius, I can predict that
I can get
shit.
it right in about 6 seconds or so. Yeah, like.
That's
Oh,
fucking
shit.
sick.
Does
Yeah.
that bomb go off now? Fuck. I'm 6 seconds off. My bad.
Well, you only got 3 seconds by the time you explained
Right?
to everyone
Oh,
what the
yeah.
problem is going to
Right.
happen in 6 seconds from now.
Right? So I got this thing. I
man.
can see the future, but it's only. It happened already. My bad.
But it already
Never
happened.
mind.
All right, well, shit, we're gonna wrap it. Had a fun time out here. It's good to be back.
Hell
Unfortunately,
yeah! Good to have you back.
next week and for the foreseeable future, at least for a couple weeks, I'm gonna be down in California. So
Shipping them off again.
it's gonna be on that Zoom hotel
Zoom
life.
it in
But
Zoom.
I'll be out there with some buddies. Maybe I'll try to get one of them to hop on with me
That'd
and
be tight.
have a little guest in the Zoom studio.
Yeah, and we'll grill him.
Yeah.
We'll grill him for info.
Give them the
What's your
grill and
bank
chill.
account
The
info?
Wendy's, isn't that the grill and chill? No, that's
Dude.
Dairy Queen.
What are your intentions with my
I used
buddy?
to grill. I used to grill and chill in Wendy's.
Oh,
if you
I'm
know
sure
what
you
saying.
did. I'm sure you did some grilling and some chilling.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, people.
All right.
We're
And
gonna
here's the
call it-
outro theme. Same as the intro. All right, peeps. We hope
right,
you have a
peeps.
good one.
Peace out.